You're listening to Rocklaz Radio. Today's episode is dedicated to my grandma because she loves cows and milk, and she loves it so much that our group is called Cow Club. And even my nephew, he also loves cows a lot and milk a lot and all the milk products. Today we have Mr. Shashi Kumar, who is the founder and CEO of Akshayakalpa, which is an organic milk company. And I've got some products to show you that I love. So this is the buttermilk that I'm holding. It tastes very yum. As you can see on the package, it has no antibiotics, no growth hormones, no chemical fertilizers, no contamination, no adulteration, no preservatives. Okay, I can understand preservative, but I didn't even know that all these things are involved when it comes to milk. So this is a story, and this is another. This is a coconut oil. I think it's cold pressed, so we'll understand what's cold pressed. And I got to have a sample in an event done by CII of the ghee. I liked it so much that I ordered myself a half kg jar, and it tastes yum when you have with rice. And people in South love rice, and adding just one spoon to the rice makes it really yum, and it's very healthy also. So, Mr. Shashi, welcome to Rocklaz. I hope you're doing great today.
Thanks, Tanmay. I think it was nice connecting to you at CAA event, and interesting that we are now talking. And also interesting to hear that your grandmother's view on cows and milk, and your nephew's view on cows and milk. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah,
She'll be
nice.
very happy to see this and hear when I tell her about this. So we also donate to this. There's a sanstha called Panjrapol back in my place. It's a Gau Rakshan Sanstha. So they,
Okay.
whatever cows are left alone or in old age, they take care of that. And of course, we have their milk coming into the house. And it's so nice. No preservatives. When I heard this concept about like milk is the most organic thing I knew, but to see a label that it says organic milk. So let's start with that. What do you mean by organic milk?
It's an interesting question. I think a lot of people do think that milk is by inherently organic. So, yes, it was true probably 100 years back. But as we progressed, okay, in agricultural ecosystem, so the milk, okay, is industry is really into trouble. For example, what happens if you treat a cow, okay, with an antibiotic? We need to really think, okay, the antibiotic, 60% of the antibiotic actually gets secreted in milk. And what happens if you feed a cow, okay, which is with, let me say, concentrate feed, which is with molds? Actually, you get a lot of aflatoxins, carcinogens in the milk. And what happens if you feed a cow, okay, with dirty water? Okay, there are a lot of problems associated with worm load in the cow, and cow gets uncomfortable. The milk quality gets affected. What happens if you feed a cow, okay, with fodder, okay, which is grown with a lot of chemical, okay, inputs, okay, on the soil? Actually, it gets shown up in the milk. So, how do we move away from the conventional systems which have evolved over last 100 years? Probably get back 100 years back and reimagine farming. And cows have been central to that thought process, okay, in the country. Somehow we have lost the path, okay, a little bit. So the organic milk is all about rediscovering what we were doing 100 years back in terms of how we used to look after cows, what cows are being fed, okay, okay, in a society where we believe, okay, cows are, okay, mata, okay, we equate them to mata. Are we really looking after them like matas? Definitely not. We need to really make an attempt to, okay, look them after like matas. That's when you produce the milk which is organic.
So it is the whole process that the cow eats, right from what she's eating and what injections are being put into her. We don't know about that. So they the injections they put in, or why do you need to do this in the first place to increase the production of milk? That's what I can guess.
Not necessarily. Okay. So the management practices of the cows, okay, they are very bad in the country right now. For example, most of the antibiotics in the cows are used today when the udder gets infected. Okay, and we
Hmm.
treat the udder with antibiotics. Okay, we inject
Oh,
antibiotics to udder. Okay, so how do we avoid udder getting infected? We need to have a proper management system where udder infection can be avoided. Okay, the first thing. The second thing is, okay, why the antibiotics get into? Because management practices in the farm, they are very bad. For example, most of the practices today in cow management is cow is tied and tethered. She is always tied and tethered. What happens? Let us assume human is tied and tethered. Actually, you build lot of stress. Stress hormones actually get into the system. So the cow should never be tied and tethered. Then also we need to, that also leads into use of antibiotics. The moment you use tie cows, so they're under stress, okay, and gets into a lot of health issues. Other aspect is cow lying down on its own defecation. More often than not, you see in a tie stall, cows lie down on its defecation. No humans or no animals actually want to do that. They do it because we have tied them. So how do we move away from those kind of practices? So that also leads into use of she falling ill, okay, and we treating with antibiotics. Also, the water we feed to the cows, if we can't drink that water, you cannot give that water to the cows. So if you give that water to the cows, okay, worm load in the tummy is going up, she falls sick, we need to treat with antibiotics. So what is happening? Overall management system, which where cows used to go and graze outside and come, we used to milk, okay, a little bit, okay, and use it for our purpose. So that systems are gone for various reasons. The land issues, okay, where there's no grazing facilities, etc., has led into a management system where it is a little bit convoluted. Therefore, it forces us to use lot of antibiotics to treat cows. That actually shows up in milk. So this is the one. This is the path where in which antibiotics enter into the milk. It is generally not. It's generally we assume that it is due to increase the milk production. No. So it is actually the management. Okay, the way we have failed to understand the cow management in a scientific way. Tanmay, I'm not able to hear you.
what was your thought behind starting Akshayakalpa, and when did you start it?
See, Akshayakalpa Genesis is little bit interesting. So we started in 2010. Now 14 years, okay, of journey of Akshayakalpa. The reason why we started was it's around 27 people from Wipro. I was part of Wipro Technologies. I worked there for 17 years. And 27 people, we decided we should leave our jobs and go back to rural areas and start working with farmers to groom them as entrepreneurs. You should ask the question why that is required. So you should ask, I say, I was born into a farming family. My father is still a farmer. My brother is still a farmer. Okay, but my father never wanted me to be a farmer. You should ask a question why. Because you saw an engineer in Bangalore who was making better money, okay, being an engineer rather than being a farmer. So, day one I was born, okay, I was told you should get out of farming and you should become an engineer. What we are trying to do, okay, in Akshayakalpa is exactly similar treatment to farming, where we want to go to villages, groom entrepreneurs so that entire village can look up to that entrepreneur and say, hey, this is a wonderful life he is leading with farming. He looked after his parents very well. He's got a good lifestyle. Children are well off. Okay, children are going to good schools. He's able to look after their old age parents quite well. He's able to live out of the land. So what we are doing in Akshayakalpa is going to villages, identify one family in a village where we want to work very closely and grooming them to entrepreneurs. This exactly is the genesis of Akshayakalpa, Tanmay.
So you're looking from the entrepreneurship angle. That was
Yes.
the genesis idea of
Yes.
Akshayakalpa. There could have been many options in farming, right? How did you choose cows and a cow-related product?
Very interesting. Okay. If you really look at when we started looking into, say, we didn't have no idea that we need to do dairy. Okay. Now, when you started going and meeting farmers, trying to understand their challenges, okay, one of the biggest challenges they had was ensuring that farming can give them, okay, regular income. Okay, that is the biggest challenge every farmer faces. Like every month, does it come? No. Every 3 months, it comes? No. Every 6 months, no. There is a probability you can make some money, but that is not guaranteed. That's one big problem. Second problem is it is not perpetual. Let us assume this month it comes, next month it might not come, or month after it might not come. There are challenges which are beyond his control. Weather is not under control, rain is not under control, soil is not under control, market is not under its control. Okay, pests are not is under control, seeds are not under his control, manure, nothing is under his control, but it still exists, okay, in between variables which he cannot control. So that it makes him jittery. So when we started thinking how to solve this, only way is to solving this one is probably going 100 years back, imagining what was happening in the farming. So that's what Akshayakalpa is doing right now. Just go 100 years back. What was animal? A cow was a central to his existence. Okay, where farming, okay, was done with cows, plowing was done with cows. It is to give a little bit of a milk, and also in and around that, he used to build that entire farming ecosystem where stability of an income existed. Okay, now let us redefine in the modern context. What we wanted to do with a dairy is enable daily cash flow to a farmer through dairy and use cow dung and do a huge manure making system where soil management can be done in a wonderful way so that agricultural income is perpetual. Right now, agricultural income is not perpetual because soil is degrading every year. So, therefore, he has to use more external inputs, more chemicals, more sprays. So, therefore, dairy solved these two wonderful problems, enabling the cash flow to. Then it gives a dung as an output. Okay, we started doing a lot of manure to do soil management. That's the reason we picked up dairy to solve that entrepreneur problem for a farmer, where you just reimagine agriculture 100 years back. This is what we have done.
So you are a farmpreneur and making more farmpreneurs.
Yes.
So it's a whole ecosystem that you're trying to grow. And of course, how this is one of the reasons because mother cow, why we pray to her and why she is so significant in Indian community is because of its multiple benefits that we have around the farm, around the home. So I just want to ask this question on behalf of our foreign listeners. This is an international show. We have people from around the one person from each country of the world, done 39 countries so far. And a common question or common thought when comes to their mind when I ask them about their impressions about India is cows on the street. Why are Indians so obsessed with cows? So what would you tell them?
See, cow was central to our living. Okay, so we like it or not, our existence of the entire ecosystem in rural setup, especially, it was revolving around the cow. The reason is very simple. Cow is, okay, only animal which ate grasses, which is useless to a farmer or useless to human beings, produced protein where he can consume. That the milk is a protein where he could consume. So that is one aspect of it. Second aspect is there are a lot of emotions associated with, okay, mother. Okay, mother is actually seen as a person who actually gives milk. So cow is the only, okay, animal actually where it came very close to mother's milk. So these are two emotion aspects. One is there's a usefulness of a cow. Okay, one is the milk. Second thing is it was used for plowing. Without that, there no other, okay, mechanism existed to plow the lands and manage the agricultural fields. Second thing is emotional aspect associated with, okay, cow giving milk, where equivalent to mother, where it was fed to the children. Okay, it was as and when they grew up. So that's the reason the importance of a cow in an agricultural ecosystem in India is huge. Agrarian economy at that point of time, 100 years back, India was 90% agrarian. Probably today it is 50% agrarian. At that point of 90% agrarian, that's exactly how people viewed cow. So that's the importance of relevance of cow in our ecosystem. Without cows, farming was not possible in India. So that's the genesis of importance of cow in Indian ecosystem.
Yes, and to add to your point, we are still the largest consumers of milk and milk products. And also, it's not just about the milk and cow. Everything about the cow is used, like urine and cow dung. They actually, in the rural India, they plaster the floors with cow dung. Cow dung is even used as fuel for cooking in those times. Of course, we're replacing that with natural gas now, which is less pollutant, and also for as a manure in the farms. So multiple uses of cow.
Yes, very much. Plowing to manure to, okay, to keeping your in front of the home very clean. Okay, entire thing, the cows were used everywhere. Okay, in our ecosystem.
This question is on behalf of the vegans out there. India has the largest vegetarians all around the world, but vegetarian includes milk as well. But vegans don't include milk. They don't want anything to do with animals. And their biggest argument is you are torturing the cow by asking cow to give milk to you when the milk was supposed to be meant only for her kids. How do you respond to that?
So I think there's a point of view. Okay, we should take. Okay, there's an emotional question, but if you really look from a science angle, okay, milk is the complete food. Okay, you don't get a complete food equivalent to cow's milk. That's exactly the relevance of, okay, cow's milk, okay, in our diets. That's the reason our forefathers from ages 10,000, 15,000 years, they have been rearing cows, okay, in our agrarian ecosystem because it was a complete food. So even if you take it for an argument's sake, okay, if you take cow milk versus, let me say, almond milk, if you compare apple to apple in terms of protein composition, okay, and almond milk is nowhere near, not even 50% near to the cow's milk composition of in terms of proteins and energy. So that needs to be really kept in mind, okay, when these, okay, vegan arguments are given, saying that milk was supposed to kept it to the calves, okay, you are taking it out. It is indeed, it is not true. So look at our rishis, okay, ecosystem, where they used to rear calves, okay, they used to rear, okay, cows, but they used to also take that milk out. Some part of the milk they used to take, but it is part of the diet. So that cannot be ignored. So therefore, an argument that it was meant to the calves, not for humans, doesn't never existed, okay, in its entirety, okay, from ages together. So therefore, veganism, from an argument point of view, yes, I don't like cow's milk is fine, but it was meant to the calves and it should not be drunk by humans. It's not true. So this has been happening for a while now. I think vegan community needs to acknowledge that fact, okay, that we have been taking milk, but taking cow's milk doesn't mean you are depriving calf of, okay, its share. It is not true. I don't buy that argument at all.
Mm. So we are not depriving the calf of its milk, it's just the extra milk. And
Yes.
also to add to the point, it's not torture to the cow, right? Nobody, it's a sin in India if you talk about beef or even use cow as a for food, killing cow. We don't do that. That is the worst torture that could happen to the cow, which is done everywhere around the world. But it's not that. We are just taking a part of the milk, sharing it along with the calf, and the whole organism or the whole species of a cow, if you see, they are thriving because of humans, right?
Yes.
We give them food, they don't have to graze around, or they're indeed living a luxurious life
See,
without having to wander around.
in fact, indeed, when I grew up as a children, no, we used to have 10 cows at our home. Okay, not even an incident of selling those cows. They actually, okay, when a cow died at home, no, lot of tearful issues, okay, 3 4 days, okay, lot of tensions at home. Everybody, okay, a little bit glum, okay, and okay, dig a space and put the cow there, bury that. This exactly was the tradition existed. Okay, I think the veganism, I think we are a little bit taking this argument too far fetched. Okay, in my opinion.
And why are cows on streets, or why do you find cows in India everywhere? It's just for the same reason as Shashi mentioned. They are so attached. It's like member of the family.
Yes.
It's
It, it,
it's
it,
more it's
they
more than
live,
a pet.
no, they
It's not
live
a
with us.
pet.
Like,
It's yeah.
yeah.
It's more than a pet. It's a member of the family. Not like cats and dogs at other places, but more than that. The status is more than that. Even it has the status of a god or goddess in a factually, if you speak. Hence, Indians are obsessed about cows. In the farms that you have, there is a lot of talk about what type of cows you used. Like there are cows that produce A2 type of milk, or there are Ghee guy Ghee cows that are also used in the branding terms when these other organic milk or other differentiated milk products come out in the market. So, what kind of cows do you use and why?
See, the area where we work, okay, right now, it is Tumkur district, okay, Chikmagalur district, Asan district, okay, and in and around Chikmagalur. This belt, okay, is called Allikar and Amrut Mahal belt, okay, in Karnataka. These are the local breeds, okay, in this area. Like how Gir is a local breed for a Kutch region. Okay, this is a little bit of a white cow with a long horns, okay, and with an hump, okay, and mostly it is used for draught purpose, flowing purpose. This is a local cow here, okay. And over a period of time, a lot of breeding has happened between various cow breeds. We call them as zebu. We don't know the breed, okay. Most of Akshayakalpa system right now, we don't know the breeds. We don't know the breed classification correctly. But all of them were born, okay, to these Hallikar and Amrut Mahal breeds. That's exactly how the ecosystem exists in India. Okay, very well. For example, if you take Gir, amazing breed, amazing local breed, one of the best breeds in the country. But she's a ranger. You can't, okay, take care of a Gir cow by tying and feeding her. She wants to go out and graze and come, okay, and whatever little milk she gives, you can take, and she is very emotional to her children. So that's exactly how the ecosystem existed. Very similarly, in our area, Hallikar and Amrut Mahal are the local breeds which existed, mostly a drought purpose flowing cows. But when the breeding happened in between them, okay, over a period of, I don't know, 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, okay, there's a breeds which we can't classify. Most of the milk today which is coming in Akshayakalpa system is from Allikar and Amrut Mahal, okay, and also Zebu breeds, which we don't know the breeds, what are these breeds, okay, from where they have come, we don't know. So that's exactly how the Akshayakalpa ecosystem exists today, Tanmay.
What is the significance of A2 milk? How is it different from usual?
See, there is a lot of talk between, okay, A2 milk and A1 milk. So A2 is a protein, A1 is a protein. Okay, majority all the milk in the country available today, all the milk, without an exception, has got both A2 protein and A1 protein. So that's exactly how that's a zebu I told, no? It is a, we don't know how it evolved, but it has got both A1 and A2 protein. And also, there are certain breeds of cows which can produce milk with only A2 protein. Okay, so generally they are classified as, okay, locals. For example, Allikara and Amrut Mahal, they produce milk with only A2 protein. Okay, the Gir produces milk with A2 protein. Buffalo produces milk with A2 protein. Okay, and also in, for example, if you take Channel Islands in France, okay, in Europe, wherever Jersey cows born there, native there, they produce A2 protein milk. So the different varieties in different agroclimatical regions produce A2 milk with A2 protein. Okay, is A2 protein is better protein than A1 protein? There's no science behind it. Okay, science, if you really go very deep into that, there is no difference between a A2 milk and an A1 milk. But there have been a lot of theories around A2 milk. Okay, oh, A2 milk is good for that. To give a good example, no, A2 milk was first popularized by a New Zealand company called A2 Corporation.
Okay.
Okay, they bought that milk produced in HF and Jersey cows. Okay, they sold in New Zealand. When they propagated, okay, this, okay, fact, this marketing message that A2 milk is good for your health, New Zealand government came down very heavily on that company, You can't tell this. There's no science behind it. They withdrew that statement. They do sell A2 milk now, A2 Corporation.
Hmm.
You can just check it out. A2 Corporation in New Zealand. Okay. Then people caught on to this. Then Europe, okay, bandwagon caught on to that. UK, some people started selling milk. Then, okay, we started selling, okay, all the cows locally born do produce A2 milk. So then we started selling A2 milk. But from a consumer point of view, there is no science which says A2 milk is better for your health. Okay, so that's where the science says. But of course, marketing messages are being different across various people. We do also sell A2 milk, okay? Small quantities of A2 milk we also sell because consumers ask for it. But there's no, we are very, very clear. There's no, okay, evidence that it says A2 milk is better for your health. Okay, we are nowhere we say that.
All right. Talking about branding, what is the meaning of Akshayakalpa?
So Akshayakalpa is a combination of two Sanskrit words. Akshaya, okay, means infinite. Kalpa means imaginations. So it's a possibility is unlimited. Okay, if you can roughly translate that one to English, it is possibility is unlimited. When we went to agriculture, we thought farming. What we can do in farming is unlimited. So this is a combination of two Sanskrit words, Tanmay.
It also tells you the vision, your vision with Akshayakalpa. It is infinite imagination of what things you want to do with farming and along with it. So that also implies that you have a lot of products already existing and planned in future. So let's
Yes.
talk about your products. What are the products you have in Akshayakalpa?
So, so the way I mentioned, Tanmay, what Akshayakalpa actually is a farming company. Dairy is central to that farming. So therefore, we have got all the products in and around dairy. And also, when you do a farming intervention, we also do beekeeping. We have got honey. So we have got, okay, tender coconuts. We have got a coconut intervention. Where we have done a greens and vegetable interventions, we have got greens and vegetables. So we have got, okay, batter and breads. Okay, we have got, okay, backyard poultry. We have got little bit of eggs. All of it put together. That's exactly how we do entire farming end to end. So right now, starting from dairy products to, okay, organic eggs, okay, to, okay, greens and vegetables, okay, to honey, to, okay, tender coconut, the entire gamut of things is given as a package to, okay, consumers, where and also enables farmers to really think farming holistically. For example, you should ask us, why are we doing backyard poultry? When we started doing a manure at a scale, okay, using cow dung, okay, we realized that cow dung was lacking nitrogen. Nitrogen is required. So where is the nitrogen is available? Lot of nitrogen is available in chicken poop. That's the reason we introduced backyard poultry. We wanted chicken poop, okay, to make sure manure is actually has more nitrogen. But in the process, what happened? They also got eggs. Okay, some farmers started consuming eggs for protein purpose, and also where surplus is there, we started selling. You should also ask, why are you keeping bee honey, where it is coming from? Each and every Akshayakalpa farm actually integrated with beehives, where we use them as a pollinators to increase the productivity of coconut yield. So farmers don't really understand pollinators. We wanted to introduce pollinators, but they are keeping beehives because they get little bit of a honey. They use it for a little bit for their home, and surplus actually we market it. So this is exactly how, starting from milk and milk products. For example, we do milk, ghee, butter, honey, cheese, paneer, buttermilk. So buttermilk packet what you had without adding any preservatives or emulsifiers. In the side we have written shake shake. You have to actually
Mm,
shake that one to become a very good buttermilk. So
yeah.
yeah, the engineering this one took close to a year or so. Okay, products like very simple products, and none of our products are added with preservatives, no added sugar, and no preservatives, no emulsifiers. This is exactly how we have done the entire, okay, engineering of our dairy and non-dairy portfolio.
This buttermilk says it goes on for 6 months. How is it possible to have organic milk without any pesticides or I don't know what? I mean, I want to know how does it survive 6 months?
This is a technology. It is called UHT, ultra high treatment. What happens is if you take a milk, it is possible for milk also. See, when a milk is in cow's udder, it is sterile. It is not infected with anything. If a cow is healthy, it is sterile. So when it comes to environment, all those things, it gets infected, okay, with lot of bacteria, dung, urine, etc. Okay. If you take milk, okay, good quality milk, and if you UHT, ultra high treatment, subject the milk to around 152 degrees for 1 second, immediately cool it in an aseptic environment without exposing to any environment. If you pack it, it can stay to that level. But quality of milk is very, very important. So there's no need to add preservatives. The UHT, the beauty of UHT is you can remove cold chain. It is very expensive to maintain a cold chain for dairy, okay, especially the fresh milk. So, and the buttermilk, of course, in this case. So using this technology, that's exactly how you can deliver a wonderful product to consumers.
So even for your milk, you don't require cold chain.
Percent of our milk is fresh milk. It requires cold chain. We sell small amount of milk, which is ultra high treated milk, okay, where that is not required for a cold chain. Like how you got the buttermilk with your hand, you can put it in a
Okay.
fridge and have it. It's fine. But if you don't put it in fridge also, it is fine. So exactly how it is.
So the milk products are done with UHT treatment, and regular pure milk is
Fresh milk.
not treated. It's fresh.
Yes.
So do you pasteurize it or no? Do you
No.
pasteurize the milk?
No. So most 90% of our milk sold is raw milk. So not many people are able to do that one in the country. So it's
Yeah. How does milk survive in a long distance without pasteurizing?
no, you have to maintain the cold chain. What happens in Akshayakalpa farms is each and every farm, immediately after milking, there's a chiller provided in the farm. The milk gets chilled to 4 degrees. So that is where you start preserving. That is maintained till okay it reaches the factory. After packing in the factory, it goes to the consumer, okay, in a full cold chain. That's exactly how it is. And the entire milking systems in Akshayakalpa farm is machine milk. There's no hand milking. There's no urine in the milk. There's no dung in the milk. Okay, and there's no hair fall in the milk. So the quality of milk is top notch. That's the reason we are able to market the raw milk, Tanmay.
Yeah, I'm a witness to that. I can agree. Once in a farm somewhere, the milk was smelling of cow urine. I was so shocked and surprised. How is that happening? And that guy was like, "Yeah, it's usual. Sometimes it happens."
Yes.
That was a crazy experience. So, how long does the raw milk survive? Or
See, the definition of a survival of a life, shelf life of a milk is defined called a test called MBRT. It's like called methylene brew reductase test. If you take a raw milk on a 36-degree temperature table, if you put it and add this blue, how fast the blue disappears. Okay, in the raw milk standard in India, Akshayakalpa right now, that is 5.5 hours shelf life. If you remove the cold chain, okay, and put it at 36 degrees, how far, how much time the milk curdles is a definition of a shelf life of a raw milk. In
Mhm.
Akshayakalpa, we do 5.5 hours because chilling happens at the farm level. There's no dung and urine, and it survives that entire journey. Generally, the shelf life of a raw milk in India is 10 minutes. If you take
10
a raw
minutes
milk,
only.
10 minutes only. That's the reason we pasteurize. So we need to really understand why the pasteurization happens because raw milk quality is so poor. Okay, that okay we pasteurize. So if you really look at that's a problem of our entire supply chain right now in the country that raw milk standards are very very poor, and that's the reason we pasteurize as soon as possible and supply to consumers so that you get a shelf life of 14, 15, 20 hours.
Is it safe to drink raw milk, which comes in packets?
Yes, raw milk is safe to drink, okay, under two conditions. The animals what you are okay milking from, okay, they should be actually ensure that bovine TB is not there, okay, and it is mandatory in Akshayakalpa we test all the cows for bovine TB. There should not be any cows in the system which has got a bovine TB. Second test which is mandatorily required is we need to ensure that cows do not have brucellosis. Okay, if you ensure cows health is like this, then it's safe to take a raw milk. Okay, and of course it should be machine milk. Okay, and I don't recommend drinking a milk, okay, which is okay hand milked and cow urine, everything is there. Okay, if you are in confusion, please heat the milk and have it. But raw milk consumption is safe under these conditions. Cows should not have a bovine TB. Cows should not have brucellosis. Okay, then if you have milked it properly, consumption of raw milk is perfectly fine. We have been drinking raw milk. Country right now in the country, 70% of the milk consumed is raw milk. Only 30% of the milk gets pasteurized and gets distributed. So that we need to be really aware of that fact.
Yeah, the heating aspect I wanted to know because the milk which I get from the dairy back home, it is not pasteurized. It's not written on the package,
Yes.
and there's no way to know if it has this bovine TB
Yes.
and the other thing you mentioned. So, I guess if it is not Akshayakalpa milk and if it is not pasteurized, make sure you heat it and drink.
It's a safe test for any milk is just heat that's the reason traditionally we have been eating milk and okay consuming. In India, nobody consumes the milk as it is. They just eat and okay consume the milk.
What's the English word for when it starts bubbling up?
So it's frothing. The moment the frothing
Frothing.
happens, yeah.
Okay, so that's how my mother told me that okay, it's ready. Where can one get Akshayakalpa?
See, Akshayakalpa right now, okay, if you are in Bangalore, Chennai, and Hyderabad, you can download our application, Akshayakalpa. You can go to either Play Store or iOS Store, okay, App Store, and you can download Akshayakalpa app and order. It gets home delivered. And also, it is available on all e-commerce channels like Big Basket, Zepto, Blinkit, okay, and Swiggy, okay, all these okay channels. It is available. Also, it is available in your nearest retail stores. So this is exactly how Akshayakalpa is distributed, Tanmay, as of now, in 3 channels.
And only in these cities that you mentioned, not
Yes,
in the north.
no. It is available on Amazon. If anybody is have an access to Amazon, they can order our long shelf life milk, with little bit and buttermilk, okay, and ghee, okay. Those things we can order through Amazon. It is available throughout India.
Great. Let's talk about the milk business. You're competing with giants like Amul and Nandini in the south.
Yes.
How do you face them?
See, it's not see the segment what we are trying to really look at is a totally different segment. So where Nandini and Amul okay occupied a very prime segment, addressing okay maybe 95% of the market. There's a 5% of the market which exists. Actually, they are looking for a premium milk. Okay, what we are trying to do okay in the market. So that is a space what we are occupying. Technically, we can't compete with them. They are behemoths. Very very small amount of business okay which we are doing right now is focused on the premium milk segment. Tanmay.
Premium milk. So, what does premium milk cost?
See, right now in let me say if we take Bangalore as an example, our milk sells at 85 rupees per liter. So Nandini milk okay sells at 40 rupees per liter. So that's the difference we see.
For sure, it's a differentiation.
Yes.
The premiumness is there. What you buy, that's what we get. You spoke about tradition, but traditionally we used to remove the milk with the hands.
See, if you really look at the hand milking systems now, so there are a lot of science and studies exist. The way we use hands to milk, okay, we use like this, we use like this, or we use like this. So cow actually undergoes a lot of stress. The best way to milk is the way the calf suckles. Okay, the milk. That's the best way to milk. Okay, the milking machine. Okay, right now which is available, it actually mimics the suckling action of a calf. So cow is extremely comfortable with that, and not with the hand milking. Hand milking is fairly unscientific. Okay, and calf suckling is science. So the nature has told calf this is how you drink milk. Okay, now the machine actually is mimicking the calf suckling action. So that's the reason I believe okay the milking process okay should be automated. Okay, and also this enables milk to be safely collected without exposing it to dung, without exposing to urine, without exposing to unwanted things where consumers okay health might be at risk. So these are the things which enables okay this machine milking. Therefore hand milking to machine milking I would preferably do with machine milking because of cow safety
Mhm.
issues and also due to the product safety issues.
It mimics what is natural and most
Yes.
comfortable to the cow.
Yes.
Amul has been going on since 50 years. As a milk producer yourself, can you tell us some unknown facts about Amul and Nandini?
It's not about Amul and Nandini. Okay, for example, the model they are pioneering, okay, is a livelihood mission. You go to a village and where people are really struggling for their existence. Can we give a market access, okay, to that produce which they are producing, that is milk, to make sure the livelihoods are taken to next level? That's the greatest thing Amul and KMF they have done, okay, to the nation. Okay, this is a path breaking work of our forefathers. Okay, Korean, okay, to entire KMF, okay, over in 70s now, etc. What they are doing. So it is not that we don't know something. Okay, all the facts are known on the table. Okay, but only challenge what we face here is that is it possible that we can take farmers from a livelihood option to wealth creation opportunity in farming? That is what we are trying to solve. Okay, in Akshayakalpa, it is not about what Amul is doing something wrong. No, they are doing excellent job. What KMF is doing, they are doing excellent job, but their market, their problem they are trying to address is totally different. They need to give livelihood access to people. That's what they're doing. That's their mandate is. They have done an excellent job there. Amazing job. So we are doing focusing on quality milk production and trying to see can we create one or two models in a village where others can copy. That's what we are trying to do. That's the only difference I see between us and Amul. But other than that, okay, we are trying to really work with farmers and make their lives work. Okay. So that's how it is, Tanmay.
So, increasing the wealth of the farmer, not just livelihood.
Yes.
So, out of the 85 rupees per liter, how much does the farmer get?
70% of the money what we, okay, collect from consumers actually goes to farmer. So that's a substantial difference, okay, when compared to, okay, what cooperatives are paying to, okay, farmer today.
And what is your model for sourcing the milk? Like, we understand that Amul is cooperative, and in Anand, where people from around the villages come with their milk, and it's a cooperative society. How is it in Akshayakalpa?
There are no cooperative society, there are no collection centers, there are no chilling centers. Each and every farmer, it is stand alone. Okay, it's an entrepreneur where he has got a chilling facility on his own. Every drop of milk, morning he milks, okay, and puts that, okay, milk into the chiller. Evening he milks and puts the same milk into the chiller. So we go and pick it up from the farmer. That's it. They're taking milk to a collection center, from collection center pulling into a chilling center, from chilling center going to the processing plant doesn't exist at all. We directly go to the farmer, pick up the chilled milk and come into the processing plant. So this is exactly how our model of, okay, back end, okay, collection systems work.
Very interesting. 70% is a good chunk to the farmer. I can already imagine the smiles on their faces. What? How big is the market for milk in India?
See, it's a huge. See, we are the biggest milk producers in the world. Okay, and the market is huge. Potential is huge. Okay, and amount of milk we produce, 205 million tons of milk we produce every year. Okay, that's the biggest, okay, any country can produce anywhere. So therefore the market size is huge, humongous, Tanmay. So there's no limit to market in the country. We each family in India, each person in the India actually consumes around 300 ml of milk, okay, on a daily basis. That's what, if you divide number amount of milk what we are producing to number of people, that's what it is. So therefore it's a huge, okay, market.
How much of that market do you want to capture? What is your vision with Akshayakalpa?
So the vision with Akshayakalpa is not about market, Tanmay. So right now we are working with only 1,200 farmers. Okay. Now you can imagine KMF and Nandini, they are working with millions and millions of farmers. Okay. KMF works with 3.5 million farmers. Where I'm just working with 1,200 farmers. So therefore, we will never match that scale. But what we are trying to do is we are focusing on more of a productivity and quality. Just to give a simple example, these 1,200 farmers today, they facilitate 300 crores of annual business. Akshayakalpa top line today is 300 crores, okay, on an annual basis.
Wow.
1,200 farmers, okay, feeding into 300 crores of business. To do very similar business in a, let me say, Nandini or a KMF model, you need around 100,000 to 120,000 farmers. So you can imagine that's the productivity shift we have made. Okay, that's the difference. We will never be able to match KMF or Amul. It's not the intention at all. They are doing their excellent work. Okay, in the livelihood mission, we are focusing on a different parameters, quality. Okay, and also on the productivity of how productive the soil is. The first question we ask. The soil organic carbon in Akshayakalpa, soil organic carbon in the soil is less than 1%. At 0.5% of soil organic carbon, you declare lands as deserts. We are very, very close to declaring all our lands as deserts. Let us keep that one in mind. If you don't work on soil productivity, agricultural productivity won't come. So that's the mission Akshayakalpa is working, Tanmay. We want to transform that. Maybe in next 10, 20 years, probably from 1,200 farmers, we will start working with, maybe, less than, I should say, 5,000 farmers. But we want to make, that shift, continuously working with farmers and ensuring their productivity goes to next level. Yeah, we were discussing about soil organic carbon. So if you really look at India, no, all the arable lands where we are cultivating today, the soil organic carbon is around 1%. Okay. At 0.5% of soil organic carbon in soil, you declare lands as deserts. Okay.
Well,
Okay.
first of all, what does soil organic carbon mean?
So for example, how the plants grow? Okay, ask that question now. Plants grow, by decomposing organic matter, into a plant absorbable way, so that bacteria act on that, and enable plants to grow, take the nutrition out. So that soil, should have an organic matter, to act on that. Either it could be a manure, either it could be a biomass, either it could be anything. Further, plants can grow. That what is there, including manure, that biomass, all the matter put together is soil organic carbon. So that's how it is defined. So right now, in arable lands in the country, I've got 1% soil organic carbon. Okay, it is not much different from anywhere else in the world. Okay, at 0.5% of soil organic carbon, lands become deserts. You can't cultivate. Akshayakalpa farms today, 3.5% soil organic carbon. So
Wow.
that's the work what we have done. And the soil, for example, to be really stable, for farming, you need to have a 6% soil organic carbon. So that journey, you can imagine, 14 years has taken us to take a 1% soil organic carbon lands to 3.6% soil organic carbon. So what it takes to take that one to 6% is our imagination. It will take next 20 years to reach there. So unless we do a lot of work on soil management, you can't do a profitable farming. So that's what Akshayakalpa is focusing right now. That's the reason we work with very, very small number of farmers. Very small. Okay, nothing when amount of farmers we have in the country, very 1,200 farmers in 14 years. That's it. Nothing we have done. Okay, but you can imagine the productivity, how it is jumping because soil organic carbon is 3.5%, not 1%. People don't understand. They can't relate soil organic carbon to dairy, how it is related. No, I can grow better fodder, better nutritious fodder. Cow health is very good. So this is exactly how all these things influence in doing farming, Tanmay. So to your question, our vision is to work probably in next 20 years. We want to work with probably around 5,000 farmers. Okay, prove that 5,000 models exist, in the country, on doing, farming, which is profitable.
What are top tips to increase soil organic carbon?
So soil organic carbon actually starts with lot of fundamentals. Okay, first thing, you should say that any rainwater falls in your land, you should not do a runoff. You should hold the rainwater back on your soil. For that one, you need to do a lot of trenching and bunding and hedging and farm ponds in your land. First fundamental thing, hold back your topsoil. Don't allow your topsoil to go anywhere if it rains. We have to integrate a lot of biomass in the hedges, in the boundaries of the farm. We should grow a lot of biomass where the biomass can be given back to the soil along with the manure. So this is the second thing what we need to do. Third aspect,
Biomass.
yeah,
Biomass, can you?
it's a biomass. Let me say Glycidia. Glycidia it's a tree. Okay, Sesbania sesban is a tree. Okay, you grow and chaff all those leaf fronds, everything. Okay, along with the cow dung, you should use that one to make manure. That is when the soil organic carbon goes up. Okay. The third and important aspect is after a crop is grown, for example, you're saying, what is the stubble burning? Stubble is a carbon. What are we doing? By burning that, you are taking the carbon back to the air. Okay, what agriculture is doing is taking the carbon in the air and putting back to the soil. So we should not do stubble burning. We should integrate all the stubble back to the soil. So that is the third step, what we should do to make the farming viable. So these are three fundamental steps, Tanmay. One is runoff prevention, hedging, bunding, and trenching, okay, and farm ponds. Second thing is growing trees in the hedges and bounds so that we can grow a lot of biomass. And third is all this stubble, agricultural waste which grows and we burn should be given back to the soil without burning. So that is when what we call in the climate, okay, articulation, carbon sequestration happens. Carbon is in the air. Plants enable us to capture that air and put it back to the soil. We should allow that to happen to take the soil organic matter up and up, okay, as and when we start continue to farm.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes,
Hello.
yes, Tanmay.
So,
Yes,
in a way, I'm happy and thankful that you worked in Wipro, so you can understand the tech issues.
yes, yes. No, I can really understand.
So, third way of was not to do stubble burning.
Yes,
Did you say anything after that?
yes. See, your question on soil organic carbon going back now. So some
Hmm.
of the problems what we are doing right now is burning the stubble. Okay, stubble is end of the day it's carbon. You're burning and leaving that one to air and creating pollution. It needs to really go back to the soil. Actually, it needs to be plowed back, chaffed, and given back to the soil to take the soil carbon up. Okay, as and when we do farming. So it's very very important, Tanmay.
How would you compare Akshayakalpa with Country Delight and Pride of Cows?
See, we do not operate in country delight model. Ours is more of a production led model. So we don't procure milk, okay, or we don't collect milk unless we commission a farm, okay, and produce the milk to our specification. So, if, for example, even to produce, okay, to take one farmer milk now, farmer has to really wait for 2 years to go certification process, okay, and change the farming practices and produce the milk to our specification. Okay, and so that's the only way we work, and that's the reason we are, our let me say amount of milk we can produce is limited. Okay, we don't go and collect milk, set up collection centers, so we don't do that at all. So that's the only difference. The pride of cows is a
So,
different model. Pride of
hmm.
cows has a very big cow, so 5,000 cows under one roof. Okay, they are trying to manage milk production from that one roof. We don't operate it in that model. So these are differences. Okay, we don't collect the milk in control to complete country delight. They just go and set up collection centers and collect the milk available. But we don't do that. We actually produce the milk to our specification.
So, are you saying that Country Delight goes and collects milks from collection centers which are set up by Nandini or Amul?
No, they set up their own collection centers. So it's
So,
not only
what is the model? What is the model of Country Delight, and how is it different from Amul and Nandini?
no the same model. There's no difference between Amul model or a KMF model. Country delight collects the milk very similarly how a Nandini or a KMF, okay, or Amul would collect, okay, and they are marketing it. They have done a good job on marketing.
Yeah, because they have so many ads running, and then they'll say, "Go in the market, test the milk, and put this chemical in your milk, and see, compare
Very good
things like
marketing.
that."
We hope we can learn from them on marketing, but so we don't have that much money, Tanmay. Yeah.
Oh, I have solutions for marketing though. We can,
Okay.
you and all the viewers, you can head to Rocklaz Media. We provide marketing solutions, ingenious marketing solutions.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Your other product which I have is coconut.
Yes.
Virgin coconut oil.
Yes. Yes.
I like the marketing on this. Virgin coconut oil.
No, the virgin coconut oil is there for a while now, Tanmay. It is not nothing new. So
We usually associate virgin with olive oil, right? So that's why I was laughing.
okay,
Virgin
okay.
coconut oil.
So if you want to, let me say, coconuts, okay, amazing source of fat, okay, that is oil, okay. And when you want to take the oil out, okay, we have to apply heat on, okay, on the copra to take the oil out. If you want to do without applying, okay, heat, okay, and in its own origin format, that's what virgin coconut oil is. So it is a really good product for us. It is helping us. It's really helping us.
So how is oil removed in Akshayakalpa? What does cold press mean?
The cold press means is we need to remove the oil from a copra or a coconut, okay, without applying heat. You can't heat it, okay, and without applying heat, if you want to take the oil out, okay, then pack it, that is cold pressed. So if you really look at, okay, other methods of applying, let me say, taking the oil out, okay, copra gets heated to 85 degrees to 90 degrees. Oil takes a different format, then you press it, then everything comes out. But if you put a raw copra and try to extract it, okay, it's a different process. So it's a little bit inefficient. Cold pressed is a little bit inefficient. You'll not be able to take all the oil out of, okay, the copra, okay, and lot of oil is left back in the, okay, desiccated powder. So that's exactly is the difference, Tanmay.
Was what are the cons of heating and then pressing, which is most widely or more efficiently used?
See, what happens when you apply a heat to an oil? It gets hydrogenated. So hydrogenation is a big problem, okay, when applying heat to a oil. So we can avoid hydrogenation, okay, and the fat, okay, in its most virgin format, so that body can, okay, take it. Post hydrogenation, okay, challenges with unsaturated fats, okay, kicks in. There's a whole lot of science, okay, behind it, Tanmay. Heat application to any fat is not good, okay. It's a very well known part. So can we able to take the oil out without applying heat? That's what is cold pressed or a virgin coconut oil is all about.
Talking about milk again, why not buffalo and camel milk?
See, the buffalo is an amazing animal, okay. In that sense, it is a little bit more efficient than a cow. We can digest, okay, things better. All the milk produced by buffaloes are A2 milk. Technically, this A2 milk. It doesn't produce. It doesn't have A1. Okay, yeah, let me say protein in that. It's A2 protein. And buffaloes are a little bit aggressive. Okay, a little bit difficult to manage. You can't do a tie stall. They just go out and come in the evening. Generally, that's exactly how it is done. So that's the reason we don't do buffalo. Okay, in our area there are no buffaloes where we operate, and also buffalo management is a little bit tricky. Okay, in terms of their aggressiveness, etc. They need a lot of ranging land. We don't have it. So that's how my answer. Then my same with camel milk. A lot of people are selling camel. Amul is selling camel milk. Okay, wherever it is possible. In our area there are no camels, so that's how it is. Yeah.
I've seen bisons here though in Uti and this region. So are bisons also milked?
No, bisons are not milk. Bisons are generally, okay, what you call forest animals. Okay, the bisons are
Wild.
generally not milked. Yeah, wild animals.
And what about donkey milk?
No, a lot of people, okay, they think it's good, but I not really don't know about donkey milk much. But I think it has got good lactose. Okay, maybe people like it, but we don't do that.
Donkey milk, the cheese made out of donkey milk, is the most expensive in the world.
Wow. Okay, I was not aware,
So
but I'm not. I'm aware that donkey milk has lactose like any other milk. Okay, maybe
so
some
if
people
you
will prefer that.
that could be another option to look at if you just want to increase the margins.
Okay.
Donkey milk is premium. But why it is premium? I googled that and it turned out that the shelf life of raw milk of donkey is very less compared to even cows. It goes
Okay.
spoiled very quickly. About honey, I was seeing a reel yesterday. They were like we're talking about organic stuff. They made honey completely avoiding honeybees. They made the whole honey in the factory using honeybee proteins and the enzymes from the nectar from the trees directly. What are your comments on that?
See, you need to really understand honey and honeybees quite well. Honeybees are pollinators. Why honeybee is required in the nature? Without the moment honeybees are dead, we are dead. Farming is dead. So we need to really understand that aspect. They are the fundamental aspect of farming. So what we are doing is each farm we have introduced lot of bee colonies where the pollination is happening. They are amazing foragers. Means they fly from flower to flower, foraging either pollen or nectar. So when this process now they collect this honey, okay, this they do a little bit of a value addition by removing some of the moisture in that, okay, and they store it, okay. But the fundamental aspect of a beekeeping is pollination. But whatever it is coming, it is we can consume it as a very good source of okay, what you call energy. That is the honey. You're on mute, Tanmay.
What does toned milk mean?
See, toned milk, okay, this definition is toned milk is 3% fat milk, okay, is what it is. Okay, that's how the FSSI defines toned milk as.
I once took a pack home and tried to. The milk of that Nandini toned milk was expired, so I thought let's make paneer out of it. But there was no fat came out of it.
So because it's standardized, okay, the all the fat okay is standardized. That's exactly how the food safety standards are defined. That's exactly how it is marketed. Okay, there is a toned, okay, fully toned, okay, full cream milk. There are variants of milk, okay, which is there in the market today as per the food safety standards definition.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it possible to remove all the fats? Like, is this what Amul and all these big brands do? Remove all the fat out of the milk, make other milk products like paneer with that, and then sold the remaining milk as toned milk. Is that
No,
possible or?
no, it is not true. That's not the way it works. Okay, Tanmay. So to make paneer, you need good quality milk. Okay, even Amul, Nandini, they use good quality milk to make paneer. Okay, so you can't okay remove fat out and make a paneer. It becomes very brittle. So we need to have a good fat in the okay milk to make paneer. Okay, that's fundamental. The second aspect is how do you make ghee? You can ask. Okay, there are a lot of processes. Okay, when you're making buttermilk, you do get okay churn. Okay, and you can make a ghee out of that. Or secondly, okay, you can churn, okay, remove the cream from the milk and you can culture it and you make a butter. All of them follow standard processes. From a processing standpoint, I don't think is any difference between what Akshayakalpa does, okay, Nandini does, or a Amul does. They're all
Mhm.
fairly solved problems. Where
No,
it is
no.
not solved,
It
yeah.
wasn't comparison between what they do and what Akshakalpa is doing. I just wanted to understand the process. I had an understanding that they remove the fats from the milk to make them the ghee or butter and things, and the remaining milk is put it as toned milk. So it's not like that. You need whole milk for both of these things.
No, no. See, the way it works now is when a surplus production happens. That's where the problem came and Amul will face. When the farmer produce lot of milk which is not controlled, okay, in let me say in rainy season they produce lot of milk. What they should because they are mandated to buy that milk, okay, but they can't sell. For that one, what they do is they separate the fat part of it, okay, and make okay butter and ghee out of that, okay. And the toned milk, what they do is they powder it and store it, okay, so that okay that powder can be sold when the milk deficit happens. So that's the way this basically balancing the milk balance sheet. That's how the industry works, Tanmay.
So do you also make milk powder?
No, we don't make milk powder. We don't even cream separate the milk. We are supplying the
Mhm.
milk as it is.
I've seen a difference. We talked about buffalo. Buffalo milk has a higher percentage of fat compared to cows.
Yes, buffaloes can have a fat up to 9%.
Hmm.
Okay, cow's milk, okay, will have sometimes up to 5%. So that's the
Okay.
difference. Yeah, and also buffalo milk will have more SNF. Okay, up to 10% sometime. Cow's milk, okay, will have an SNF of around 8.5%.
What is SNF?
So milk has three components. Okay, it's called fat. And what is not fat? It is called solids but not fat. SNF stands for solids not fat. It has got
Hmm.
actually proteins, whey proteins. All of them are categorized as SNF. And third component is water. So technically, 12% is solids, fat and SNF put together. 12% is solids. Around 88% of a milk is water. So in buffalo milk
Oh,
case, yeah, buffalo milk case, 16% are solids, fat and SNF. Okay, remaining 84% is water. That's exactly how. That's the reason giving clean water to cows and buffaloes. It's very important because majority part of milk is water.
now I understand. That's a great point. Now you get the importance of the whole process of how important it is from what you feed and to the
Yes,
cow becomes important. 80% of the milk is water. Pradhan Mantri, one of the videos of Pradhan Mantri Narendra Modi had come with dwarf cows, very small,
yes.
heighted cows. And then I saw some videos afterwards. They were marketing these cows as an alternative to pets. Like many people desire to have cows at their home, like my grandmom, but it becomes difficult to manage such a huge animal. So they made a dwarf version of it, and they were even saying that you can milk those. What are your thoughts on that?
So प्रधानमंत्री जी जो कुछ भी आपने देखा वो the cows they are called Punganur cows. Okay, Punganur breed. Okay, so very well known breed. Okay, and beautiful cows. Okay, and actually you can adore them. Very small cows. Okay, and Pradhan Mantri ji spent some time with them. Okay, and they also give small amount of milk. Okay, but this is a Punganur is one variety of breed. Okay, which is very popular. They are beautiful. They're very adorable. And also very small breeds also like this exists. Okay, in for example in Karnataka it is there's one more breed called Malnad Gidda, very small body size. And if you go to Tamil Nadu, it is called Kanjivaram Kuttai. Okay, very small breeds like that. They are very adorable, like Punganur. There are Malnad Giddas, there are Kanjivaram Kuttais. So that's how it is. Yeah, that's what my view on that. But प्रधानमंत्री जी जो कुछ भी आपने देखा वो पुंगनूर ब्रीड है. Okay, this very beautiful and
Okay,
adorable.
so the breed itself is very small in size. It's not like
Yes.
bonsai where
No, no,
it's
no,
not
no,
like.
no, no. Amazing breed variety. Okay, that's all our what you call desi. Okay, in that one we find entire gamut of things.
So just clearing away the misunderstanding if anybody had, it's not like bonsai where you genetically reduce the size of
No.
that plant. They haven't genetically reduced the size of the cow. These are original breeds that exist in that form. So yeah, you can get one if you like
Yes.
instead of a cat or a dog. Amazing. What excites you about the future?
See, right now, see, only area we understand, at least I understand from lifetime work is farming, around 14 years of work, okay, deep into the farming. So the potential which exists, okay, in farming India is humongous. So that's what excites me. But the ecosystem doesn't exist to harness it. Okay, simple example I told you, all smallholder farmers. Okay, and this is the potential. This is what excites me in terms of what is the potential. We are blessed with sun. Okay, 365 days a year, tropical, subtropical like climate, and we can probably become a food bowl of the world if we can do properly farm. So this is what
Mm.
excites me, Tanmay, in terms of farming. What is possible in India? We should never try to copy Western models. Western models have failed. Western models of farming, Western farm models of dairying, Western model of food production has failed. Okay, and they are moving away from their monoculture models to more of a regenerative models. And we should actually innovate quickly, and we can take a lead in food production for the entire world. That's the potential. This is what excites me. Tanmay.
You spoke about last 14 years. What do you want to do in the next 14 years?
See, as I mentioned, in next probably 15, 20 years, right now we are working with around 1,200 farmers. Take that, okay, to around 5,000 farmers. Enter into 5,000 villages, make them 5,000 role models in the country where farming can be treated as a vocation of choice, okay, for young people. When you graduate, you can become a doctor, an engineer, or okay, pilot, or a chartered accountant, or whoever. You also should dream to become a farmer. Today, it doesn't exist in the country. At least in our lifetime work, what we want to see is work with around close, focused 5,000 farmers. okay, and see that, okay, they become role models to the nation.
Yeah, the approach towards farmers is really not so good. Even in Maharashtra, where I'm from, I've seen videos where in the session the elders are discussing that these days, if you say you're a farmer, they won't give a girl to your son.
It is true everywhere. It is not only in Maharashtra. In Karnataka, it is very much prevalent. If you are a farmer, you will not get a bride. So there's a big problem, okay, in the country right now. The perception of farming has to change. It can only change if farmer makes money. Right now, the perception exists because farmer doesn't make money. This has to change, Tanmay.
So when you were working in Wipro, since when did you start thinking about cows, or was it since beginning?
See, I was born in a farming family. Okay, we grew in middle of cows. Okay, and we know how to take care of cows, how to rear them, and our family has a huge attachment to cows. Okay, I still remember my grandfather amount of passion he had in rearing the cows and take care of them, and we were all taught as a young children. So we have been thinking, okay, I think we are born in middle of a cows. Okay, so from day one we have been with them, Tanmay.
Let's just dive deeper into your childhood. Can you share some memories that you'll never forget as a farm boy?
See, unfortunate, Tanmay. So in India, no, at least I am not an exception. So in India, when a boy is born, especially if you're an elder child, okay, and in a farming family, you are told not to get into farming. Okay, you are actually asked, okay, to go and study well, get out of farming, get a job. That's exactly same thing happened to me. It's not an exception. It's India what's not happening. Same thing happened to me as well. So that's what my childhood I can only remember. My father asking me not to become a farmer, study well, go and get a job. So that's a very unfortunate, okay, incidents of our childhoods, and this is what is happening in the country throughout every village, every family. This is what is happening today.
So you grew up in a farm, but your father didn't allow you to work there.
Yes, no, he never allowed me to be a farmer. Though we used to go and help him in farm, okay, but it never happened that he allowed us to work.
What did you do in Wipro?
So I started my career in Wipro around 92. I used to work for their equipment vendor business in telecommunications. So that's what I did. I completed my engineering from Bangalore University. Then I completed from my master's from Illinois Institute of Technology, Chicago, and continued to work for Wipro for close to 17 years.
17 years. Wow. Now, coming back to your childhood and farm, tell us the names of your cows, if you remember.
See, we used to name the cows, okay, based on their color, okay, and when they were born, okay. Okay, for example, okay, kappasu, okay, means a black, full black cow, okay, and we used to, okay, call budasu. Budasu means, okay, a little bit of a white mixed, okay, brown color cow, budasu, okay. Biliyasu means white cow. We used to call, okay, if she has got a big horn, okay, we used to call, okay, kombasu in Kannada, okay, it is a call. So we used to name cows like that. I still remember those names, okay, very well. By color, okay, and the way they used to look, okay, and that's exactly how we used to name them. But
S-
generally nowadays people do name cows, but in our family we used to remember them like that.
By categories. Okay.
Yeah, by categories, and because we had a lot of cows, okay, we used to have around 15 to 20 cows at any point of time in my family.
So if there are few, five, six cows of the same looking, then if somebody is not well, how would you direct them to that particular
No,
cow?
we will say that Dod Budasu. Okay, let me say if it is a same color, okay, it's a bigger one, a smaller one, we used to categorize.
Okay.
And we used to say Budasu with combo. They used to categorize like that.
So you didn't number them.
Now, tagging is a new concept. For example, all the cows in Akshayakalpa, they are tagged and tracked. 12-digit number we give, like our
12
Aadhaar.
digit.
12-digit number, yes, it's mandated by Government of India to tag animals with 12 digits. Yeah.
So they know each and individual cow in the whole country with that then.
No, right now there's a mandate. In Akshakalpa, we have tagged. Using the government mandate, we have tagged. We have tagged around 14,000 cows in Akshakalpa right now.
Wow. No, it's so minute tagging. That database can be pulled on individual cow
Yes, yes,
amongst millions, billions.
yes. So the herd management systems have evolved that we should be able to really tag a cow and track a cow.
What, when, take us through what was your mindset when you're working in Wipro and you wanted to make the switch into farming. How long did that thought process last?
I think from beginning the day when we joined, at least I joined Wipro, I've been thinking how to get back to farming.
Since day
So
one. Okay.
day one, yeah, yeah. So, but Wipro provided a great opportunity to see the world and what's happening. So I spent some amount of good amount of time in US or to get to see their agriculture, what's happening. Okay, and also I coming from an agricultural family, I know what's happening. I think it allowed me to develop the perspectives. I think day one is the thought existed. Okay, how to go back and do something in farming.
Would you advise people to, like, I just got a thought. My mom also wants, she always dreams of having a house and a cow. I mean, cow in a house. But in the metros, it's not really possible or feasible. So in future, can we work on a structure where it could be possible, or they could just like go and meet them or pet them for the
Lot of
weekend?
no, lot of models exist, Tanmay. For example, if you really look at platforms like Rangde, okay, you can check rangde.in, where you can actually okay invest in a cow, okay, and it is actually given to a farmer as a loan, and you know which farmer okay he has got, and you can go and meet the farmer, spend time with him, okay, and also he returns your capital, use that capital and give that one to one more farmer.
Oh
So the
wow.
platforms like the peer-to-peer lending actually exist. Amazing. So if you look at Akshakalpa itself, no, Rangde platform, we have raised close to around 6 crore rupees funding our farmers. Consumers of ours come funding and farmers. Okay, employees of us coming to farmers. Our own farmers funding other farmers happening from platforms like Rangde. It is possible.
You can even give them in that case, right?
Yes, yes. And the money comes back. Okay, Rangde manages it. The money comes back. Okay, and you can use that money and give that one back to one more farmer. So those things can be very easily done. Okay, for most of the people, urbanites, they want to really understand this cow and you want to really help a farmer, you can do that actually.
How much does one cow cost?
See, it depends, okay, 30,000 to 90,000 rupees, okay, is on cow cost, depending upon the breed, how much milk she gives, all those things. There are a lot of characterization.
What happens to the bulls?
Yeah,
Yeah.
generally what happens in the country right now is most of the bulls do go for abattoirs, okay,
What
because
does that mean?
so basically goes to meat industry, okay, so that's what it is, okay, and government is trying to make some changes there, but this problem started because we stopped using bulls for plowing. Earlier when the bulls were born they were used for plowing and they used to be a little bit useful, and the onset of tractors, lot of mechanization, we lost that touch. So that's what I'm trying to say, we need to reimagine farming, go back 100 years, reimagine what it was happening, and we should just start doing farming from there. So right now, a lot of questions we can ask: what is happening to bulls? What is happening to calves? Nothing is under our control. What we can control is go back and set up some models and demonstrate it can be done differently if people can adopt. But we can't control what's happening in right now.
So for those innocent people who are thinking that the ratio birth rate is not 50-50%, it is 50-50. So there are equal number of bulls and cow born. It's not just that only more of cows are born. It's not like that. But we need to get a better models to save the bulls. What do you think about leather? What are your views on leather?
As long as the cow avatar is there, leather industry will exist. Okay, we can't really stop it. Most of the leather in the country right now is coming from buffaloes. Okay, right now not from cows. Okay, so that's where the industry is right now.
So all the, but I thought it was more of goats, like music instruments and all that.
That comes from that, but most of the leather, okay, which is used for your
Belts.
coats, okay, your
Hmm.
belts, your shoes, all of it actually comes from buffalo industry.
So just thinking aloud, what can be better use of
70
the bulls?
60% of the country is buffaloes, so only 40% is cow.
Oh, So the sex ratio between bulls and cows is also like that. There are more bulls than cows. The next question is about ghee. That is the first product I was fascinated with of Akshayakalpa. Why is ghee so important in our culture?
See, we need to really understand, okay, primary source of energy, okay, where it comes, okay. Look at the science, okay. And fat is a huge, okay, source of energy where fat can be burnt, okay, and releases energy, okay. That's how we survive. That is one aspect. But the use of ghee in various okay delicacies okay in regular life, starting from making your delicacies to your burfis to your sweets okay to okay your food, your even your rice eating actually revolves around use of ghee. That's the reason culturally we are very tuned to use ghee in various forms, okay. And that's the reason it becomes very important okay dietary intervention okay for any family. Okay, any family actually would want this as part of their diet. It's an amazing source of energy.
Amazing. What happens to the cows that are not in Akshakalpa? What do you do of the cows that are old and that stop producing milk?
See, there are two ways to look at this problem. That's what I told Tanmay. We can't change the world. Okay, what
Hmm.
we have done is it possible to manage cows better? Can they live longer? For example, a milking cow, okay, it has got around 78 years of life. Okay, is it possible we can take it to 15 years by managing her better? Give clean food, give better water, take care. Can we take her to around 14 to 15 years of life? That's what we are doing in Akshayakalpa. That's the
Hmm.
reason we don't work with a lot of farmers. It's not possible to convince a lot of farmers to tell what we are trying to do. So therefore, better cow management, okay, we are trying to ensure their life is extended. Post that, okay, most of the farmers, okay, when the cow dies, basically most of them bury, okay, but the problem with managing the male calf still exists. Okay, in our farms also it exists. But what we are trying to do is male calves can they be used for plowing? That's what we are trying to do because farmers whom we work they are very smallholder farmers. Okay, and so can they use them for plowing? All those instruments we are trying to put in place and trying to revive farming going 100 years back. But
Hmm.
in Akshakalpa farms, better management actually increasing the life of a cow. We don't tie them, we don't tether them, okay, and we
Now,
don't.
you increase the life,
Yes.
but the milking age is to a limit, right? After a limit, they cannot.
No. If you manage the cow better, okay, it might not be giving a lot of milk, okay. If you manage the cow better, she can actually give milk, okay, even after fifth or sixth or seventh lactation, okay, around 50, okay, 12 to 50, 14 to 15 years of age she can survive. So it is useful to the farmer. Farmer
Okay,
will take care of it. So that's exactly how we are trying to change it. But we can't change the world, but in our farms it is mandatory. It has to be looked after like this.
got it. What is the difference between grain-fed and grass-fed cows?
So the very simple this one. Okay, if you are a cow ecosystem where you don't feed anything other than grasses, okay, and what happens in, for example, if you don't feed grains, okay, it's like okay, let's assume you are just eating rice, okay. Now you don't eat anything with the rice other than okay rice. Your balance of nutrition doesn't happen. So the grass-fed cows, okay, though it is sold as grass-fed, okay, 60% of the diets is grasses, 40% of the diets is grains. So that's what is required for a balancing diet for a cow. Okay, that's what we do in Akshayakalpa. So grass-fed cats generally it's a grazing fields in temperate climate. We can do it. We don't have temperate climate, tropical, subtropical. There are no grazing lands, Tanmay.
Amazing. Great to learn about all the types of farming. One very interesting another thing I want to point out about packaging is you encourage people to wash and rinse and give back. So why is that? I was asking the question about packaging. In this, you have mentioned wash the pack with potable water before opening. Why?
See, any distribution systems now, okay, will okay have a contaminants deposited on that. That's the reason before okay packet is used, okay, we want them people to wash that one with a potable water, then cut it. So maybe a distributor might have touched it, or a delivery boy can touch it, or your housemate might have touched it. So we just want to make sure that okay, it is washed before you just cut it.
You've also mentioned about rinse, dry, and return, and give back the empty packs. What do you do of the empty packs?
So what we are doing is we are working with the recyclers. Okay, we are pelleting, making those return packets as pellets and trying to repurpose it. For example, we are making bags out of that. Okay, and so that they are responsibly all the waste what we are putting into the consumer's hand, we are trying to collect it back. Okay, and responsibly recycle. That's the initiative what we are trying to do.
So you're recycling. I thought you're going to put the buttermilk again into the same pack and deliver.
No, no, no. It cannot be done like that because it's a food safety issue. So it
Ah,
gets recycled. Okay, everything gets chopped and pellets, and actually they make bags out of that.
and that's a very good initiative. So you have been looking about the environment in such a wholesome way from the start, like from what the cow is eating to the end and beyond the end where the customer has consumed it, and now what you do after the consumption
So
and what
it's
you do of
very
the
important. It's
package.
very important as a producer. We need to have a lot of responsibilities on what we produce and what we put it and what happens to that.
All right. So it was amazing talking to you. Do you have any final words for the audience today or any other topics that we didn't discuss?
Hey, Tanmay, thanks very much for this opportunity. One parting note I would like to give to any of the audiences who are listening to this podcast is generally in farming now, the value of what is produced actually gets created in the farm. Value, for example, if somebody does a gehu or a rice or a milk or whatever, it gets created in the farm. Value of that one gets realized when there is a paying customer for it. Okay, and when the paying customer should know what are the pain points of a producer, that is a farmer. The farmer who is producing it should know why consumer should pay a better price for him. So that connect needs to happen, okay, in any farming ecosystem. To that purpose, consumers have a huge role to play. It doesn't matter it's Akshakalpa or otherwise. You should question every aspect of the food what you are eating, where it came from, who produced it, how it was produced, how profitable it was produced, how environmental conscious production happened, what are the food safety standards put in place. You need to question every brand out there, saying that where these questions, if you start asking, brands become very, very conscious and start working with farmers very deep. If you don't make consumers don't make these questions, there will no farmers left in the country. Today, average age of a farmer in India is 55 years. Our nation is people of young people of 30 years is an average age of the population in India. In 20 years, there will be no people producing food for us. Therefore, it's in consumers' best interest. They start questioning where this food is coming from, who produced, what profit, and what is there for the consumers, how safe it is. They need to start asking and start going to source of the food. Okay, thank you very much, Tanmay. That was the message I just want to leave it with the audience.
Absolutely. Very important message for all of us. And I'm very optimistic and positive that with entrepreneurs like yours who have left their high paying and world exposure giving jobs and gone back to farming and using all that you have learned in your career in the tech side, all the innovation, all the systems and processes, you're using that for the farming and making innovations there, even there. That was really brilliant to hear from you today.
Thank you, Tanmay. Thank you, Tanmay, for taking time out for this. Thank you.
One last question. How was your experience of today?
It was good, Tanmay. I think it's a very nice conversation. It's a very free flowing conversation. Liked it. Thank you.
This episode is brought to you by Tanmay Shah. That's me. Best way to support this show is by sharing this with your friends and dropping a comment and review on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. You can become my patron and a sponsor. That's not all. You can buy Rocklaz merchandise and NFTs and much more. See all the links in description for details. Rocklaz Radio with Tanmay Shah.
Rocklaz Radio.
Rocklaz.
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 Rocklaz Radio with Tanmay Shah.